Well, we've had lots of battles on the land, and now it's time for battles on the open seas, or well, at least the creeks and rivers that kind of run through this country. But a lot of boaty shoots. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, I hope you like. I hope you got your sea boots on because we've got
Oh,
some sea
yeah.
stuff going on this week. Lots of sea stuff.
How?
So
Tom, did we not decimate their uh uh navy
yeah,
naval
but I mean,
fleet? Like
we got rid of most of their major vessels,
but
but
that's
they
just a
they still
major
have a
they
couple of pirate ones lying around. And then it doesn't. I mean, their navy is not. It's like you get a dock, and then you put that dock on the middle of the
and
river with a cannon on it, and now
and
you got a
that's
now you got a navy again.
all
So I mean,
right.
that's
Okay. So
we're
it's
dealing
all
with a
right,
little bit
but
of that.
they're still doing stuff and fighting us in the water somewhere.
We got boat stuff going on. We
All
got
right.
lots of boat stuff this week. So it's going to open up on the 30th with a touch of bad news as federal gunboat Isaac Smith is going to be fired upon by Confederate batteries near Charleston, and it's going to be run aground
Oh.
later to be captured. So there's
Oh. Are they gonna
Confederates
sink this
getting.
one
No,
too?
they didn't sink this one. They keep this one. Yeah, they keep this. So now there's another
So
boat for the dirty
somebody
dirty
came
rebels.
running in from the bag. It's like, guys, if you take the boat, you just keep it. You don't have to sink
You
it.
have a boat.
They're
Yeah,
like, oh,
we
you're
have
the
the boat
general
now. We
now.
can use that boat. I
Now
think.
it's your boat.
The Union is going to win a small engagement at the Kelly store near Suffolk, Virginia, and it's going to see Confederate forces withdrawing there. So, a little bit of a skirmish that we win, but we lose a boat. So, tit for tat kind of thing.
I mean,
Hard to gauge anything in this war at this point because it seems
nothing
like
matters.
nothing really matters.
It's all
Yeah.
not everything's so meaningless right now. Just
Yeah.
I think somebody just has to get tired enough at this point, right? Like people just have to get bored with it, and then maybe for like one side forgets that we're at war after, and nobody's winning shit.
Nobody is winning shit. On the 31st, Johnny, Confederates are going to manage to get two gunboats on the water, the Chicora and the Palmetto State, into position near the blockade at Charleston, where they attack. This is a last-ditch
Oh,
effort, or well, maybe it's not their last-ditch effort, but it is a Hail Mary of so to speak of here, where they're going to try to punch through the blockade, open it up to reinitiate commerce with Europe.
okay. Well, how'd it
They
go?
well, they are going to cause enough damage to the USS Mercida, that it's going to surrender. But before the Confederate forces are
Mhm.
actually able to board and take over the boat, she's going to get her engines running again and escape. So, white flag, and then oh shit, the engine's actually working. Get out of here,
Oh, go,
go!
go,
So
go. Now,
they're able to they're able to
that's a
to, to
pretty
hightail it out.
slow, pathetic getaway, right? These are not fast moving
No,
vessels.
it's a
This
couple
is
of knots. Yeah,
this is just slowly going, and then they're like rowing their boat after almost catching it, trying to get on board or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The federal boat, the Keystone State, is going to catch fire when its boiler is hit,
Ooh,
and causing it to kind of sink.
that
The total
will do
casualties
it.
here, Johnny, are going to be 4 killed, 3 wounded. That's total, and it's all on the Union side. The Confederates are going to declare a victory and announce to Europe that the blockade is broken, and that blockade actually isn't broken. It's temporarily interrupted because we have a plethora of other boats that we just
Yeah,
replug that hole.
yeah. They
So
they cut a hole in the fence and said, "Look, the fence has been torn down and ripped away." And then we come along with a little sheet of plywood and put it on,
put
and
it
now
right
we're
back.
good.
Like
Yeah.
fences now mended. So any disruption in this blockade is fixed by nightfall. So that would
What?
have been
So
too
again,
early
just
to do.
useless. Just I mean,
Just useless. Yeah.
just
Yep.
nothing.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
4 people
And Johnny, we
died.
have some Indiana news.
Oh,
Indiana news, hometown news. When in Morgan County, which is actually just like it's like right there for me. That's my neck of the woods.
yeah, that's not far.
Just county over, 2 counties over, but not that far. A
Close.
day horse, a day pony ride will get you there. In Morgan County, a few deserters are going to be arrested, and when they resist, several citizens join in on this resistance, and we have to call in the cavalry.
Hold up.
Who thinks that the appropriate response is to
Nope.
into the crowd. Hey, but they got dispersed. So victory in Indiana.
All right, so northern deserters.
Yes. They got
All
caught.
right, they started and they started resisting the arrest, and then everybody else in the area is like, no, yeah, don't arrest them. That's bullshit. We're also gonna riot because we're bored because it's Indiana. Hell else you gonna do?
It's Indiana, Morgan County. There's not much Morgan County yet.
And so some cavalry came and shot into the crowd. Anybody die? Or they
No, I know. Just they got
okay.
dispersed. Couple pop offs.
Okay, well,
we're okay. But yeah,
that's good, I guess.
At least that, yeah. On February 1st, Johnny, federal naval forces are again going to bombard Fort McAllister from last week. Remember?
Yep.
Same effects this time. Not much happens.
Just nothing.
We bombard for most of the day and then just go, all right, fuck it, and go home.
All right. Well, so what different did we do this time? We did something different this time, right? We had a different approach to it.
A couple more
tactics.
Boats. We had a couple more boats added to it.
Just same thing. Just
more boats. We just added a couple more boats.
Shooting,
just
fire
more boats this time. Yeah. And then,
okay. Well,
just,
maybe next time.
Union forces, Johnny, the Union forces are able to occupy Franklin, Tennessee, though. So victory. We took over a city, but I mean, it's like we marched in and there wasn't really anybody there. So it's.
Well, but it's ours now. So
yeah, it's ours now.
We'll take it.
It is, in fact, ours now. Yay. On the 2nd, the USS Queen of the West is going to run past Vicksburg in broad daylight, getting hit 12 times, but managing to cause very little to no damage. So the whole plan here is it's a ram vessel. The goal is that it's going to run past Vicksburg and get onto the Red River, where it's going to disrupt the Confederate trade that does exist on that river. So the Confederates still have some commerce, some trade, some supply shipments using that river. Now that we got a Union gunboat on that river, the hope is that it's going to disrupt it and start to choke out Vicksburg.
Great.
Again, we're slowly wrapping that siege around that city to slowly start starving them out.
Eventually, we'll get them.
It instantly is successful because on the 3rd of February, 3 Confederate vessels are captured, and it is a haul. We get pork, hogs, salt, molasses, sugar, flour, and sweet cotton that we now can use for our own troops or sell to England to make them a little bit happier that they aren't getting their cotton supplies.
Yeah, so they said, "Hey, South, start farming things other than cotton." They're like, "All right, we'll start farming pigs," and then we just stole all of their pigs that they started farming.
We just stole a bunch of pigs.
Got them
already butchered pork. Yeah, we got whole pigs. We got whole pigs.
Yeah, whole ass
already
pigs.
Butchered pork. Whole ass pigs, butchered pork, salt, molasses, sugar. I mean, we got everything for. We got molasses, Johnny.
Let's have a cookout, Tommy.
That
shit's dangerous.
We can make some. We can make all kinds of shit with molasses. We can make some rum. We can make some brown bread. The New England style treat there. With sugar and flour. Shit, we can make ourselves a cake or the molasses cookies. Yeah.
Oh, molasses cookies are where it's at.
Molasses cookies are where it's at. So we got it all there. Morgan and his raiders are going to attempt to attack Fort Donelson and quickly get repulsed when they realize that their little raiding party that has done nothing but raid like unarmed cities or like crappy little garrisons when it actually went up against the fort didn't
fare so well. It's a bunch of wannabe military cowboys didn't do so well against our expertly trained soldiers.
Yeah, sure. We'll use that word expertly.
Our over
moderate,
or maybe more heavily armed soldiers, I think, is probably the only difference.
In a fort with some, in a fort with some cannons. That's the big difference there. French Minister M. Mercier is going to meet with Secretary of State Seward, that's U.S. Secretary of State Seward, to negotiate and mediate between both sides to come to some kind of resolution to end this war. And Seward quickly refuses that, say, no, we're not interested. Unless the Confederates are going to surrender, like they're not going to be able to be their own country. So unless they come to the table with, we're not going to fight and we're going to rejoin you, you wasting wasting time. And in fact, the Queen of England over there, she's actually asked why England hasn't stepped in to try to mediate anything, and she herself says it's a waste of time because they're clearly not, like, until the South is ready to rejoin, there's nothing here
to talk about.
So unless the South really creates enough animosity in the North that the North is willing to end, which they're not, it's a waste of breath to try to negotiate anything, because it's
waste of fighting too. Because
well, yeah, it is that. On the 4th, Johnny, federal troops are going to finally strike at Marmaduke's forces and push him out of Batesville, Arkansas. So it looks like the two raiders that we've had over the last couple of weeks, Marmaduke and Morgan, have suffered losses. So
running into some walls here.
If nothing else, we were making some progress on that front. And Johnny, the week is going to end on the 5th with Hooker dissolving the Grand Army system that Burnside put in place. And he's going to go back to a more traditional corps commander structure. At the end of the day, this really means absolutely nothing.
Of course.
It means nothing. It's just for show. So I guess we'll see what happens next week if Hooker decides to have a new battle strategy to face Lee, or if we're going to be stuck for another couple of months of looking at each other across the pond. We'll find out. Or river, not pond, river. But yeah, whatever, same thing. Oh, and on a side note, Johnny, we got from England, since we were talking about the Queen, we did get a shipment of 4 of their Wentworth breech loading cannons in. And so I'm kind of excited. I get to go out there and don on my fancy uniform to test said breech loading cannons to see if these might be a viable piece of field artillery that we can use. It should speed up loading. This could be the wave of the future, Johnny. Could be the wave of the future. So,
all right. Well,
so we'll see next week how that goes. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We talk about all kinds of fun, different things, like how molasses drowned a whole bunch of people in Boston because, well, commercial building codes weren't really a thing.